Okay, we should be good. Yes. Alive. Perfect. Okay, nice. Great. Okay, let's start editing and watch the news.
New this morning, new economic expansion opportunities are coming to the Hoosier State. It all has to do with bringing popular gas station chains and travel centers from different parts of the country here to the Midwest. And CBS 4's Hannah Fullman joins us here live in studio now with what we can expect to see here in the next couple of years. Oh yeah, I've been noticing the trend.
Oh yeah, Melissa, it's already happening, and there is a lot more to come in the years ahead. We saw the first Wawa in the state open its doors earlier this year, and then the first Wally's is anticipated to open up in the new year. There are talks of the popular chain Buc-ee's coming here too. Indiana, dubbed the Crossroads of America, is known for its exceptional access to all different parts of the country. That includes being a hub for several major interstates like I-65, I-69, and I-70. Not only that, but Indiana's population continues to grow, and local leaders say that includes having a few of the fastest growing counties in the country. So when you pair both the prime travel access and Indiana's growing population, experts say that becomes the perfect incentive for new big name businesses to migrate here.
I think that, like most successful businesses, they're looking to expand their market share, and they're looking for areas in which the demographics and which the economic opportunity fits their business models.
Wally's is set to open up its first location in the state next year. That will be off of I-65 in Boone County. Meanwhile, Buc-ee's is reportedly eyeing a spot in Johnson County and possibly Boone County too. We will also be seeing more Wawas open up throughout the state too.
Wawas.
You can right now find 7 locations throughout
Central
Indiana.
these don't have no audio, or what happened to
downtown being off of East 96th Street.
I am loving Wawas. There's one near me, and I love going there and getting their
I forgot to turn on the voice meter.
Gas in my car.
Oh yeah, gas sandwiches. We love
Buc-ee's coming to Indiana. That's a huge deal. Talk about a talker.
Speaking of Buc-ee's.
Oh, look at you. You've got your blanket and all.
We've got the blanket ready and the mascot, Buc-ee himself.
Of course. I love him. Oh, that's
there we go.
What happened?
As we were talking about, I mean, it's a travel destination. Not only to get gas and fill up your car on your trip, you got to go in and get some
It's a tourist spot. You have to get the merch, the merch.
I have a coffee mug.
Okay.
I have a coffee mug, and then obviously I've tried some of their food, and let me tell you.
Bro, what happened?
The beaver nuggets.
Oh yeah, Also,
How you guys doing?
What else I had there? We didn't get to get a sandwich.
They're known for their brisket.
Yes. Have you had it, Amber? Yes. Oh, good. Amber's had it. It's good. So let's hope Buc-ee's comes to Indiana.
The fingers crossed.
Of America. They should. Hannah, thanks. Still.
Buc-ee's. All right. We'll have to check it out.
Dan did a great job. I think he wants to go back to the show.
He quits the FBI. Because, what?
And the ranking member and distinguished members of the committee for having us here today. The people of the state of Missouri watched in horror as the left's direct assault on President Trump manifested itself in the form of a corrupt process
Good morning.
President, which resulted
just editing our videos.
criminal conviction.
We're
a nation of laws that are supposed to be equally applied. Instead, the left has prioritized its hatred of President Trump above the rule of law. To put it plainly, the left hates President Trump more than they love this country.
FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino is resigning as FBI Deputy Director, a move confirmed by U.S. President Donald Trump amid growing speculation in Washington. Trump said Bongino is possibly returning to television, adding that he did a great job during his brief tenure at the FBI.
Dan did a great job. I think he wants to go back to his show.
In a statement posted on X, Bongino thanked Trump, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and FBI Director Kash Patel. Bongino had reportedly considered resigning earlier this year after clashing with Pam Bondi over handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. Bongino's tenure at the FBI has been in question since July, when issues related to Epstein came to a head. Attention has now turned to who will replace Bongino as the FBI's second-in-command. As per reports, Bongino's co-deputy, Andrew Bailey, is expected to assume the role, though no formal announcement has been made. Bailey served as Missouri's Attorney General after being appointed in 2022, holding the post until September 2025. Bailey resigned as Missouri Attorney General on September 8th to become the FBI's co-deputy director, serving alongside Dan Bongino, a move announced in August 2025. A West Point graduate and Iraq War veteran, Bailey earned his law degree from the University of Missouri in 2010. He is known for conservative positions on abortion, transgender rights, and election-related lawsuits challenging federal policies.
That doesn't sound
As
right.
FBI Deputy Director, Bailey would report directly to Cash Patel and oversee daily operations as the Bureau's sole second-in-command.
Chairman and the ranking member and distinguished members of the committee
all right,
for
no
having us here today. The people of the state of Missouri watched in horror as the left's direct assault on President Trump manifested itself in the form of a corrupt prosecution of the president, which resulted in an errant criminal conviction. We are a nation of laws that are supposed to be equally applied. Instead, the left has prioritized its hatred of President Trump
The
above
left,
the
the
rule of
right,
law.
the left, the right.
Put it plainly, the left hates President Trump more than they love this country.
Or some
The
person.
term lawfare, while
Oh, there we go.
apt,
You guys saw that?
fails
I
to
saw him slide.
adequately convey the moral depravity underpinning
What's
this
going
strategic
on with
attack. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office recent prosecution of President Trump represents one of
You guys
the
saw
most
that?
morally abhorrent volleys in the left's ongoing barrage of lawfare. This prosecution was politically motivated and is
I
replete
don't know
with
why I
legal
got used
error.
to saying
First,
that. What's up, guys?
prosecutors
How you
are
guys
explicitly
doing?
forbidden
Thanks for
from
stopping by a
waging
little
politically
bit.
motivated prosecutions. To the extent a prosecutor is self-interested in a case, that prosecutor must recuse himself. That did not happen.
Anime underscore
Bragg was
lover
previously involved in civil litigation against President Trump,
9779555.
campaigned on a
Hello.
promise
Said,
to prosecute President
Yo,
Trump,
your
and then
stream
recruited the
vibe
third
just
highest
gave
ranking
me a
official
cool
from
design
President Biden's
idea.
Department
I
of
make
Justice to
logos
lead
forward
his trial
slash
court
banners
efforts
for
against
streamers
President
want me
Biden's
to
political
show you the
opponents.
concept.
Second, the indictment charges
Sorry,
President Trump with
we don't have
32,000
no
falsifying business
money
records
for any
making entries and
marketing
records
right
with,
now.
quote-unquote,
Sorry, I wish
the
I could
intent
help you
to
out.
commit another crime.
I wish I
The
could.
charges
We're just
referenced
a
the
brand new
unidentified
channel
other
here.
crime
But
constitutes
thanks for
deprivation
stopping by. I really
of
appreciate
due
it.
process.
Thank you so much.
By denying the president a right to be informed of the crimes.
Everybody
for which
that stops by just
Third,
offers
the
me
prosecutor
if
unconstitutional gag order in this
if I
case.
want them
There's a strong
to
presumption against gag
make
orders
me
as
a
violative
banner, a
of an
logo,
individual's
etc.
First
for
Amendment right to
marketing.
free speech. Bear in mind, the right to free
But
speech protects not only the speakers,
unfortunately,
but Americans'
we're just
right
a brand new
to hear
channel
from a
and
presidential candidate.
we have
Fourth, the
no
prosecutor
support
perverted the law
yet.
to meet the facts rather than objectively
We got to
apply the
make some
facts
money
to
off
the statute at
ads.
issue prohibits a false entry into a business.
We're not
record.
trying to
However,
get donations or
financial
anything
entries
like
were
that.
authentic in that the entities
We're not here to make
listed
money. We're
received
just
the funds
here to
enumerated
help
in the
others
documents.
with that
The
money.
prosecutor illegally bent the law to allege that these transactions were
I'm
that
not
were
here for
accurately
me.
reported were for some other purpose.
What happened
Fifth,
there?
the prosecutor failed to correct the court's error in instructing the jury that
Okay, so these
unanimity
are
was
all
not required
nothing.
as to the predicate offense that forms
Thank
the
you,
basis
really
for the
appreciate
fallacious
it.
charges. The Sixth Amendment right to trial by jury.
If I had
includes
money
jury
and I
unanimity as
didn't
to each
even need
element
a
of the
logo, I would
offense
still give
for which the
people
defendant
money.
is tried.
But I'm not a top
The
creator
prosecutor had an affirmative
like
duty
that.
to object to this violation of President Trump's constitutional rights. Missouri has a unique history that parallels much of what
Anyways, I'm
recently
an
happened in
artist
New York, with the
myself. I
exception
could create my own
its systems
banner
in
and
Missouri
stuff, but
countered a rogue
there's no
prosecutor
point.
who filed politically motivated
People hate
cases.
me.
In fact,
People don't like me. I don't
I
know why.
filed the lawsuit that ultimately
The
removed
life
her from
starts with
office
a lot of
and
people,
prevented
and
this
then
kind of
all
office.
as soon as I start
George
talking,
Soros
people
has
leave.
repeatedly funded progressive prosecutors who wreak havoc on the criminal justice system at every level.
I just want to hear
Only
what
do they
this guy's had to say,
prosecute
but it's all a show. I just want, I don't know, I just let the thing play.
For as much as President Trump talks a big game about being tough on crime,
I appointed patriotic, tough-on-crime warriors.
But as you know, we're a tough-on-crime administration.
And he's the criminal
Be
himself.
Very tough on crime.
there's one type of criminal that he keeps pardoning.
President Trump has issued pardons to the 3 co-founders of the Bitcoin mercantile exchange.
President Trump today signed a pardon for Ross Ulbricht, the creator of a dark web marketplace named Silk Road.
He was charged with narcotics trafficking, distribution of narcotics by means of the internet, criminal enterprise, and money laundering conspiracy.
Criminals in the crypto industry. His favorite crypto criminal is Changpeng Zhao, or CZ. a man he pretends not to know, but who you're going to hear a lot about in this video.
Why did you pardon him?
Okay, are you ready? I don't know who he is.
CZ is the CEO and founder of Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, and one of Trump's most recent pardons.
It's
He was
all
charged by the
rigged,
US
it's all
government,
games,
much like the BitMEX
doesn't
founders,
matter.
for ignoring anti-money laundering laws.
Did I
He
really
pled
get
guilty,
that?
spent 4 months in federal prison, was fined millions of dollars, and actually was forced to step down as the CEO of Binance. What makes all of these crypto pardons
No, I
especially
get 'em.
peculiar is that not too long ago, Trump denounced this wildly speculative, fraud-ridden industry.
Bitcoin, it just seems like a scam. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar.
So what changed between 2021, a time when Trump would liken crypto businessmen to scam artists, and now?
A lot of people say that he wasn't guilty of anything. He served 4 months in jail, and then what he did, well, you don't know much about crypto.
What did President Trump stand to gain from opening his arms to this
Anime_lover
industry? When journalist Jacob Silverman brought us this
9779555
story, it became clear
said,
that of all of Trump's pardons,
"Can you
this was
drop
by
your
far
Discord
the
in
most
chat?"
corrupt one. It reveals a covert arrangement of bribery, shadowy companies.
There's some problem.
And it
Here, I'll
might
drop
just
it in.
be
It's my
Trump's
actual
ticket to
name.
becoming one of the richest people.
My
not just
name
the
is
country,
spelled
but the world.
Zinay, and the H stands for Hernandez. The first name is Zinay, like Mount Sinai, but it's spelled different.
When the crypto industry dumped at least $130
Let me type it in.
million into the presidential
Hopefully you can
election,
hear me very
much of
clear.
which
I
was
have
spent
plenty of
getting
mics
Trump
in the
back
room,
into the White House.
so you should be
Crypto
able to
also
hear.
spent big on defeating anti-crypto Democrats like
Zinay.
Ohio Senator
It's
Sherrod
Zinay,
Brown.
it doesn't matter how you want to pronounce it, but it's Zinay in Spanish, but the H is for Hernandez, Zinay
It didn't
Hernandez.
take long for Trump to see
My name
that
is
he
spelled
could benefit
Zinayh,
personally
and I'm
from
Mexican, not
Can you tell me
American,
the
but
story
I
of the
just
early
speak
days
a little
of
bit of
Liberty
English.
Financial, what it is and who's involved?
I'm not from this
October
country.
2024, the Trump family announced that
But
they
we're
had
just
founded
we're just a
called
talented,
Liberty
skillful
Financial, and they
person
did it
in
with
life, and we
Steve
just
Witkoff, a
know how to build
billionaire
computers
developer, the close
since
friend of Donald
I
Trump,
was a
and is now
teen.
his chief diplomatic envoy, and Steve Witkoff's sons, and two
Since
other
I was
crypto
17.
lifers who hadn't really had much success in their previous projects.
I'm 39 now, so it's
Quickly
been,
became the main
what, 25
crypto
years?
company among several,
I
but the
think.
main vehicle for the Trump family to take in billions of
I
dollars.
started in
worth of
2004.
Real money and crypto.
But
They promised
I
to
don't
build
count
the
the
financial
first year.
system of tomorrow and marketed themselves as a decentralized
Yep,
financial company.
started making
like
good
so many other
money
crypto
right
companies,
after we learned how to
somehow
build
going to
computers.
bring financial empowerment to the masses. And when
Well, welcome
Trump
in,
won
good
the
morning.
election in
Hopefully you're
November,
having a great
the money
day.
really started
And by the way, I was going to mention
The
something.
World
I don't know why
Financial
people,
announced
whenever they put my
$1
name in, they
billion
say they
WLF
cannot find
tokens
it.
the first week
But
Trump
that's
was
my
in office.
Discord name.
How does CZ get involved in this story?
that's
I know
it.
he
There's
helps
no
out
other.
Liberty Financial.
I mean, I have another one, but
So CZ's
At
crypto
Name
different.
finance, which is the
69
biggest exchange in the world,
said,
created
Let's
the
go,
US
Israel. God bless Israel. God bless the nation of Israel. Jesus Christ is coming back. Let's go. He must love his country a lot. Are you from Israel, bro? I'm from Mexico.
The
How
question
did I
I should be
get
asking with USD
double
one is,
kill?
why
I
are
don't know,
people using
but
this? Why do people want
whatever.
to use a token issued
Oh,
by the
that's how I got
president
the double kill.
rather than real money?
Yes,
Let me
God bless
explain
everybody.
with
God bless
these
the
different
nation of
boxes.
Israel.
Imagine this is
Not
the
the
US's
government,
traditional
the
financial
people.
system. And let's say I want to send this money to a business to buy something, and maybe said
Alright,
business is located
I got a
in
little
another
bit of
country. In order to
time.
do so,
I got
I have
like
to put my money in this box.
40
and away it
seconds, I
goes.
guess. Around there.
At each stop, the money is inspected. Its origin and destination is checked.
That's funny.
Officials
What
will
was he
verify
standing
that the
there?
money complies with the law. Anti-money laundering.
I'm just gonna edit all my
sanctions
videos even though they're not
conflicts
that
of
good,
interest,
but I just
know
do
your
it for
customer,
memory
tax
purposes
law.
only.
There are a lot of stops
So
on
I
the
can
way.
come
It's
back one day and
slow,
say,
but
"Oh,
these
yeah, that
protections
happened.
are
Okay.
important.
That was
By the
funny."
time the money arrives at
And
its
then you look at it,
destination,
that's
we
funny
know a lot
clip
about
when
it.
you used
The
to
relatively
be
slow
very
speed
bad at
is
it.
a feature. It's not a bug. Now imagine
I'm just a
this
normal
is
player. I
the
don't
system
consider
created by
myself
World
a-
Liberty Financial. Someone decides to send
An
money,
excellent
real
player.
dollars, to buy some of the company's crypto tokens.
When
The money goes in.
when everybody's
Because
using
there's
name
essentially
assist
no
or name bot,
regulation,
of
nobody
course.
really knows where it came from,
Especially the
who
top
sent it,
streamers.
or where it's going. The box skips all of these stops and avoids all of these
I got
regulations.
shot
Money laundering,
before I
sanctions,
got there.
not a concern here. At the end of this nonstop journey, which can be much faster than what we
And
see
then
in traditional
the
finance,
system was
I
spawning
have
me
WLF tokens
right behind him
or
and
USD1
him
tokens that I
behind
can
me,
use like
excuse me.
digital dollars. I can send them anywhere,
That's
even
the
a
only
crypto
way you can
wallet
assault a
owned by the
demon.
first family. And unlike the traditional process involving the US dollar, this crypto transaction generates money.
Another one.
Any money
came
exchanged for
back.
USD1 is held
I'll
by
leave it
World
as
Liberty
is.
Financial, which they then get to invest in things like short-term treasury bonds, which generates income for the Trump family.
I got
So critically,
something,
when people use
but
this parallel system,
he got
it
me.
makes the president and his family richer. A lot richer.
See,
and
the
it's
system
all
was
made
spawning
legal
him
by legislation
right in
like
front
the
of me
Genius
and
Act,
right behind me.
passed by Trump and his party with an assist from some prominent Democrats.
See, if I didn't turn
Welcome to the
around in
corruption
time,
economy. You can now
he
buy
would've gotten
influence
me.
with the president at speeds you wouldn't believe without any kind of permission. Just buy this token.
Interesting.
So you
Aim
brought us
assist,
some
though. Aim
examples,
assist.
some egregious cases of people putting money in the black box.
So earlier this year, an
The
Emirati
black
company
box.
called MGX, which is affiliated with the government there, part of the Sovereign Wealth Fund,
Anime
decided it
underscore
wanted
lover
to invest $2 billion in Binance.
9779555.
Instead of just sending $2 billion
Said.
to Binance,
It on.
the UAE and this
All right,
Prince
you
Sheikh Sahnoun, who's a member of the
you
royal
sent
family, decided
You
to
sent
involve
your
World Liberty
info.
Financial.
All right, let's check it out.
So what they did was they sent $2 billion US dollars to World Liberty Financial.
What?
In
Where's
return, they
my-
got $2 billion worth of USD1
I gotta put
stablecoin.
this down
This
here.
is the USD1 stablecoin that was originally created by Binance. Then they take that $2 billion worth of USD1.
Welcome in,
coins,
everybody. Good
they
morning.
send that to
Hopefully you guys having a good
Binance,
day.
And now MGX, or the Emirati government, owns a $2 billion share in Binance. Right after this major investment in May, the administration gave the UAE access to highly advanced AI chips from the US.
Nothing.
There was an SEC
How do
case
I know I
against
got
Binance
a
that
message
gets
from
dropped,
someone?
and seemingly all the legal issues facing Binance here in the US and in some other parts of the world start to go away. And finally, CZ had been publicly asking for a pardon for months, and he finally got that. He was pardoned by
Streamer
Trump
mode
despite
is
pleading guilty
enabled.
to financial crimes and spending 4 months in federal prison. And let's not forget, Steve Witkoff, a founder of World Liberty Financial, helped broker this deal. Steve Witkoff is playing a dual role in that he is both Trump's top diplomatic envoy.
So
to
you
the
send
Middle
your
East.
info
He's
already?
Negotiating a lot of these deals. As of his last financial disclosure, Witkoff still had an
I
ownership
haven't
interest in World
received
Liberty,
anything.
where, let me remind you, his 2 sons
But-
also work. So he's potentially directly profiting off of
Yep,
these
that's
both
my
diplomatic
username.
Steve Witkoff is
I'll leave
using
it
the
up
government
for
to
a
make
little bit.
these deals, and then he's profiting from the deals directly. That sounds like a quid pro quo.
If it's not
All
a
the
quid pro quo,
CEOs
I
are
don't know what
profiting
is.
from everything.
Then we've got Justin Sun.
Wars, no
Justin
wars,
Sun is
doesn't
a very
matter.
colorful, almost notorious.
It's just new people coming into the mafia scene. That's it. Nothing new. Nothing that wouldn't surprise me of the rigged system we live in. But what about you guys? How are you guys doing out there? Trying to survive? Trying to keep your faith up? Trying to stay motivated? Trying to do something? Unfortunately, I accomplished the dream that I wanted to accomplish in life, but it wasn't what I expected in life. So I just dropped out before it got worse. So I've been a professional musician since 9, but I've done other things besides music since I had a lot of free time and didn't have to worry about looking for a job until like I needed money or something like that. But I already knew how to do things, so I just went into whatever market I had to go in to do whatever I had to do.
The day of Charlie Kirk's murder,
At
the
Blade
United
Bino
States Secretary of War,
said,
Pete
Let's go,
Hegseth,
Blade.
led a
Beverage
group
box,
of
Bino.
beverage
in the
box,
Lord's Prayer
beverage box.
in honor
Okay,
of
welcome in,
his
guys.
fallen
He's drinking his little juice.
in life of Jesus, and he opened his Senate confirmation hearing by thanking God.
He's drinking his milk or his juice? Apple
Regardless
juice?
of the outcome, belongs to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
And his
Yes,
third
let's
wife,
go,
he also
Jesus
thanked
Christ.
His third wife. When he's not basking in the glory of Christ,
Definition of
he's breaking
other.
international law by giving orders to
Okay.
kill them all during boat strikes in the Caribbean.
All right, I'm
but the
gonna
wildest thing
check
is that
what's
excess
the best
faith
clips I
and
got.
militaristic bloodlust aren't mutually exclusive. In fact, they're both perfectly consistent with American.
I just like to hear the
evangelical
truth and nothing but the
Christianity,
truth.
which is
So help me
which is
God.
maybe a problem. Maybe that's not great. Maybe we don't love it.
I don't.
How did a religion?
If I listen to something, it's just because I just like to listen to what they have to say. It doesn't matter if it's lies or whatever. But I already know what's out there in the world. That's the good thing about spending too much time on YouTube.
Dudes in dresses.
And about knowing social psychology and body language.
And how can we stop this project from turning
Okay,
America
now we gotta
into
make it
some
short.
white Christian ethno-state? Well, this video is a companion
Gotta make
to
a
my
1
recent
minute video,
that
but
discusses
it's
my own
just like
personal journey
2
out of
seconds.
evangelicalism and into the
3
loving
seconds
hands
too
of Karl
long.
Marx. In this one, I'm going to examine the historical and political convergence of these ideas. But if you want to check out my personal backstory, I'm going to leave the link to that video in the description.
So, what do you guys think about politics being corrupted? That's fine. This is long,
while young
but
Michael and his friends were talking theology in bars and joining social justice-oriented protest movements across the country, another generation of young evangelicals were basically doing Andrew Tate stuff, but for Jesus instead of sex trafficking.
Yoga is demonic.
And this right wing of the evangelical movement was already decades into a project of infiltrating and co-opting American political and military power to serve the goal of creating
that's too long, but I think I said something here.
Jesus deals with other kingdoms by crushing them.
Okay, so that's Pastor Mark Driscoll, who was in many ways ahead of his time. He was an MMA influencer years before Joe Rogan had a podcast microphone that was lowered down enough so that he could reach it. And he also preached about a sort of hyper-masculinity that would be right at home in the darkest corners of contemporary YouTube.
From his mouth comes a sharp sword.
What did I say here?
Yes, your sons should be able to play with swords.
One of his primary concerns was that Christian men had been, and this is his language, not mine, pussified. And that this pussification process led to men avoiding church because they had no interest in a, quote, Richard Simmons hippie queer Christ. Again, his words, not mine. He once, and I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
Don't swear to God, bro.
Congregation,
I guess he's not a Christian.
To give their husbands
he must not be a Christian in order
get them
to
to
say
come
that.
to church.
But whatever.
And this was all
I'm still
grounded
gonna
in
listen to what he has to
Jesus
say.
as an American badass.
Yeah, people leave as soon as
Driscoll called Jesus an aggressive, anger-filled leader who picked fights with religious authorities, slaughtered thousands of pigs, ordered
as soon as you start talking about the truth, people leave.
Offense. You know, this Jesus
they don't
was
want to hear the
ultimate
truth.
Fighting warrior king with a tattoo down his leg who rides into battle against Satan, sin, and death on a trusty horse. I'm 90% sure Jesus doesn't ride a horse in the Bible. Please let me know.
Yes, this guy, this guy's not a Christian, bro. This guy is just, this guy is just giving his opinion, but nothing truthful, nothing of value. It's just speculating stuff. He doesn't even know. Of course, Jesus Christ comes back in the apocalypse. It's called the revelation of Jesus Christ comes back in a white horse. And obviously, he doesn't know nothing about the Bible. He doesn't study it, at least a little bit. I'm just checking out videos. I just like to hear people's opinions until they get very dumb or something. It's a waste of time.
How we should think and talk according to the Bible. Now, there are dozens of such descriptions in God's Word, but I want to focus in on 10 verses specifically. First, we are to be compassionate according to 1 John 3:17.
We're supposed to care about people.
With earthly possessions sees his brother in need.
All these top creators.
Compassion from him. How can the love of God abide in him?
Exactly. So all these top creators that have millions of dollars and they don't even have a homeless shelter with their name on it. I mean, if I had like at least $1 million, I would have my own clinics, my own like even blood centers or whatever blood donation centers, like with my own name on it, and say, hey, this was made from just nothing, just my skills, just using my skills. I didn't have to put any money in. It was all provided, and it was all blessing. But they don't say that. They just hoarding money. That's it. They're not helping anyone poor.
Second, we are to be generous, according to
Exactly.
2 Corinthians 9:6. But this I
That's
say,
what I'm talking
he
about.
that soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Third, we are to be forgiving, according to Ephesians 4:32.
That's the hardest
And
thing
be ye
people are not
kind
doing.
one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. Fourth, we are to be humble, according to James
Man,
4:6.
I've
God
tried to be
is
humble as
opposed
much
to
as
the
humble as
proud,
possible.
but gives grace to the
People-
humble.
people don't
Fifth,
like that.
We are to love one
They get
another,
offended.
according to 1 John 4:7. Beloved,
All right,
let us
that's good.
love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. Sixth,
Welcome in.
we
Good
are to
morning,
be
good morning.
truthful, according to Ephesians 4:25.
Exactly, the truth.
Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Seventh, we are to be peaceful, according to Matthew
Peaceful.
5:9. Blessed are the
That's the most
peacemakers, for they shall be
important
called the
thing for me.
children of God.
Be at peace.
Eighth, we are to be mature,
Very
according
mature.
to 1 Corinthians
I'm extremely
14:20.
mature.
Brothers, stop thinking like children in regard to evil.
All
be
these
infants,
street
but
top
in your
streamers that
thinking
act like
be
children, like little
mature.
kids.
Ninth, we should seek out wisdom, according to James.
Wisdom, I know
1:5.
plenty
Now,
of
if
that.
any of you lacks wisdom, he
Nobody
should
knows how
ask
to
God, who gives
build a house,
generously
change
to
electrical
all
wiring,
without
and put an
finding
electrical
fault, and it will
breaker
be given
box,
to
or
him.
change an
10th,
engine,
we should be
transmission,
virtuous,
put up a
according to
wall,
Philippians
brick
4:8.
or
Finally, brethren,
out of
whatsoever
2x4s.
things are true, whatsoever things are
They don't know
honest,
how to do that.
whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report.
I don't think none of
if
those
there be
top
any
streamers have that.
virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these
I would be
things.
helping little
So
kids,
these
little
are the
homeless
ways
kids,
that
especially
we as
fatherless
Christians
kids.
should be: compassionate, generous, forgiving, humble, loving, truthful, peaceful, mature, wise, and virtuous. And there are dozens of Bible verses that
See, and all the Twitch artists that stop by and ask me for if they want me for them to make me a logo or a banner. If I had $1 million and if I were to be a top streamer, I would actually hire every single one to go and paint a mural about something very important about culturally and politically, but the truth on like the wall. I would hire real artists, real people, that want to go and make money, even if it's digital art or they put a robot or whatever they want to do. But I would hire them and not just to make me a banner. I would really hire people, give them a job, every single one of them. But I don't have any money. I'm just barely starting out. If I ever make money off YouTube, come back and see me. I'm just a very, very talented, skillful person. That's why I'm trying to use my skills to make money and help homeless or fatherless kids. Hopefully, somebody got a little bit salty. Few. All right, that looks good. That looks good. Or some person. Oh, there we go. You guys saw that? I just want to see it how it looks. Obviously, I got killed like 1,000 times more than I got some kills, but I was having fun. That's all that mattered.
That's the only way you can assault a demon.
With Jesus Christ.
The system spawns you right behind you,
We
bro.
were talking about how this guy that was
thing.
possessed, he didn't tell me where he was from, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't from the USA. Unless if he was, but...
Aim assist help. The definition of it stopped by in a while.
Alright, I gotta change that. I just wanted to try that transition, but that transition is ugly. Alright, back to this. And we're almost rendering that.
Not just the ones I mentioned. But here's where it gets interesting. While those 10 characteristics are how we as Christians should strive to conduct ourselves, the man of sin that we're warned about in the Bible, the one we call the Antichrist, will be exactly the opposite. Instead of compassionate, he will be cruel and even callous. Instead of generous, he will be selfish and filled with greed. Instead of forgiving, he will be vindictive and seek retribution. Instead of humble, he will be arrogant and boastful. Instead
That
of
sounds like a
loving, he will be
CEO.
indifferent and lacking sympathy. Instead of truthful, he will be deceptive
I don't know
and
why
dishonest.
that intro looks ugly,
Instead
but
of
I'll put
peaceful,
it like
he will be
this.
chaotic and hostile. Instead of mature, he will be childish and even infantile. Instead of wise, he will be ignorant and even foolish.
Instead of being a man, he'll be
virtuous, he will
homosexual.
be vile. Thus, by studying how the Bible teaches us the
Lots of bad
traits and
things.
characteristics we are to have as Christians, we can also understand that it is telling us how the final Antichrist will be. And that is, he will be the
I'll leave it
complete
higher.
opposite of what we are to be. In every sense of the word, the
okay.
Antichrist will
@Frostar
be the
VFX.
anti-Christian.
Said,
And by him having
Beverage
all of
Box
these
Church.
traits that are the
@Frostar
opposite of what we
VFX.
should
For sure,
be
for
as
sure.
Christians,
That's the church.
helps us to identify
Those are
him
religions.
as
Yes, of course.
the
That's why
final
Jesus Christ is going to come
Antichrist.
back and destroy all religions, all buildings, all mountains.
Again to everyone
He's going to
who has
destroy the
shared
whole
or
earth
liked
again,
or
and he's going to
upvoted
rebuild it.
videos. I am truly grateful for your assistance in helping my channel.
That's why the
grow
Antichrist
over
is
the
getting
year
ready
or
with
two. Your many
the
insightful
AI.
comments are also appreciated, except
They're
for
paving the
those
road
of you
for
who are trolls.
world
I don't
dominance.
appreciate your comments at all. But to everyone else, thanks
What
again.
the Bush
and I'll
family
talk to you
couldn't
guys
do
soon.
in the 90s and the early 2000s, Trump is doing it in like a flash. So therefore, my beloved brother, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always unbounding in the work of the Lord. For such as ye knoweth that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So everything that I'm doing is for Jesus Christ, and I'm trying to help out homeless people, especially fatherless kids and people that don't have money or that have terminal illnesses. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to use Google ad money. Like the top streamers have money out of thin air, nothing. They didn't have to do anything. But I build my computers, I build everything. I know how to build houses, put in electrical wiring. I'm a sound engineer. I've been a sound engineer since like a baby. I've been into music since like 4, but I started being a musician at 9. Just so, and I started installing car audio at 13 without knowing how to install a stereo, but I just knew how. Somehow I just had the talent and skills. I just know. I have very fast reflexes. I want to be as strong as Jackie Chan. I mean, not Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, excuse me. I like Jackie Chan as a martial artist. All right, so what's the next? Welcome in. We're just editing our videos. That's rendered. All right, that's finished. It should be all right. Okay, what's the next? Media. I just wanted to do that one. I think it gets worse after that. Oh, it crashed. That's the bad thing about AMD. The drivers are not mature yet, so I just have to reopen the work. Okay, so I just want to see what's in the next. Oh, this is, I guess it's the app. It's not. I'm not even on AMD anymore. All right, so I got some pretty cool clips still. Okay. I got something, but somebody got me very fast. Oh. Something happened. Must have been the drone pods. What's that? Okay. The hard port is secure. I like that gun. It's just very nice how it behaves. Alright, gotta erase all that. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in. That's why I go live every day. I don't need success in life. I already had success. I already wanted to do all the things I wanted to do in life. As a kid, I wanted to work for NASA. I wanted to go to the moon, but then you figure out that NASA is a hoax and they don't accept Mexicans. And besides that, I grew up too fast and realized that NASA was not going to be an option for me because you needed a lot of money to go to college and et cetera, et cetera. And then I had a thing growing up where I was horrible at math and reading. I couldn't memorize anything. I don't know. I think I probably had some kind of Down syndrome or something. I don't know. I'm just wondering if I had some kind of mental illness or mental incapacity or I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't memorize anything growing up as a little kid. Like if people were to tell me something, I just couldn't comprehend. I don't know why. But then I just still kept doing my things. I guess my parents saw potential in me. That's how they got me into music at a very young age. Because I like music. That's all I remember.
Donald Trump is leading us down a path.
I used to like hearing bass.
Today's guest, Steve Levitsky, well, he has spent decades studying how the country
Harvard professor
into authoritarian rule. He's a Harvard.
Yes, we know we have authoritarian ruler. Yes, it's not whatever he's doing. It's not legal and it's not natural and it's not good as a humble being. I was gonna democracy docket. I don't know. I'm just gonna subscribe. Whatever. Sure, bro. I just don't want to listen to this yet.
T26.
What's this?
I believe in the pre-tribulation rapture, and so.
Oh yeah, we were listening to that a while ago. What's this? Let's check it out. Oh, I saved it.
This is Z-Image Turbo.
Oh, the Z, yeah, the AI.
Way more capable than a model
I want to try this.
should be.
I have my AI.
And then we'll supercharge it with ControlNet.
I use Comfy. That's very good. You can transform anything you want. Really, it just takes time. You just need like days to create like a real good video. But you can really do anything now with AI and a really good graphics card. A 4080 Super or anything above will kill it. Even a 3090. I think you can do it with the 3080, but the VRAM doesn't help a lot. Okay. I just want to hear what this dude has to say,
this is my AI YouTube channel that went viral in just 7 days.
I don't like it.
And I want you to start doing the same. So in this video, I'm opening a brand
because like I was watching so many videos yesterday about creators saying, "Oh, I opened this brand new channel and it blew up and I made 17 grand or 20 or $1 million or et cetera, et cetera." They just each one says the same thing. If you pay attention to like, let me go down here. Here, let me put this way. Oh no, I guess it doesn't. They changed it. Okay. So I start getting these recommended videos over here, but all these say like start making money. Like okay, this says in Spanish, but how to make money in 15 days. Using it, just YouTube monetize. So he made 9,000. Oh no, that says 9. What? Yeah, that says 9 million. No. That says 9,717 with 42 cents. Excuse me. I was getting too excited there. And then there's 4 simple steps to grow your YouTube channel and business. She has a lot of info. It just takes work. That's it. Everything takes work. I just have to make my very good videos, very, very, very unique videos. So see, stay silent. Don't tell anyone about your YouTube channel. And this guy tells you how to make money and stuff, which I just don't like at his points of view. But whatever. All these how to make money, but none of these are helping anybody.
I will go viral in 7 days using AI. So you can replicate the entire process and start getting results for yourself. But for this to happen, we need to start today. Selecting the niche. From doing research to see what is currently trending, I found this channel here. They have gained over 200 million views, all within less than 20
What
uploads.
is he doing?
To give you some perspective in terms of the financials behind a channel like this, they would be earning approximately 15,000 USD per month. So as you can imagine, we want that. Before seeing this channel though, I had no idea about this type of content. Essentially, the channel is making animated stories surrounding a game which is called Grow a Gov content. Running a brand new channel, and I want you to start doing the same. So in this video, you can replicate the entire process. Selecting the niche. From doing research, all within currently trending, I found this channel here. They have gained over 200 million
But it's
views,
Roblox,
all within
bro.
less
That's
than 20
for
uploads.
brain
To give you
rot.
some perspective in terms of the financials behind a channel
Oh
like
yeah,
this,
all
they
those
would be earning
creators
approximately
making brand new
15,000
channels in like
USD per month.
15
So
days
as you
and
can
making
imagine,
money, and
we
they're not
want
helping
that. Before
anybody
seeing
homeless.
This channel though, I had no idea about this type of content.
They're not helping
Essentially,
anybody.
The channel is making animated stories surrounding a game which is called Grow a Garden.
I'm here to
From doing a
help.
Google search about this
I don't
game,
need money.
I found that last week it broke the
I have my
record for the most
electricity on and
concurrently
food in the
played
fridge. I
game
don't
of
need
all
anything.
time. And as you can see visually
I got my
here on
computers
Google
running.
Trends, you can see
I
how
got a
much
spare
this game
computer,
has blown up in
just in
popularity
case.
over the last month. While this research gets me very excited,
I flip
and this
computers.
channel is
I
very
work
inspiring,
very
we
hard.
do not want to copy them. Because on YouTube, when a channel
What no
is
streamer has
established,
ever
it's
done,
very
I've done
difficult to
it.
get traction by just making the same content. What I have noticed though is that these videos follow a very linear approach to storytelling. For example, this short here that has over 45 million views introduces some idea.
I used to play basketball. I want to learn really cool tricks, but I haven't played basketball in years. But back when I was a teen, I used to really do some cool stuff. I could do a channel
and the
about
video
that,
ends
right?
with the character being celebrated, which is the payoff. And we can visually
Or
represent the
breakdancing.
story components on a graph that looks
I used
like
to do
this.
skateboarding,
And
but I
this
didn't
is the
learn
typical
much.
story structure of the example
But,
channel.
just
now,
an
typically,
ollie.
within developed niches on YouTube,
Never got to a
to have increased
kickflip.
engagement, we apply a story structure
But I
that
used
looks
to be
like this,
crazy
which
about
is
Tony
called
Hawk.
a conflict arc. It has a hook,
practicing
a rising
football
action,
skills.
but then a conflict, a comeback, another rising action, and a payoff. In this structure, the added conflict and comeback makes the story less predictable, which in turn increases
Yeah,
our
you have to
engagement
create good
and the
content.
amount
I
of
know
views
that
you get.
for
So what
sure.
I think we can do here is
No
take
doubt
the
about
existing niche of the trending channel and then apply it to our improved storytelling process. Now, despite this looking great on paper, we are faced with one major issue. How the hell am I meant to create animations at this level? I do have some experience operating an animation channel because in my last video, I documented the entire process of running one for 30 days. That channel went on to get monetized and I was awarded these cool awards from YouTube. But I wasn't the animator. I outsourced them to a professional because animating is a time-consuming and complicated process. To overcome this challenge, I could learn how to animate myself, but we only have 7 days here. So what I think we can do is use the latest advancements in artificial intelligence to create these animations for us. And all of this put together should allow us to go viral in just 7 days. Yeah, it's quite ambitious, but we are going to make this work. Channel setup. I have this channel here that we are going to rebrand. This channel is a few years old and it's one that I like to call that is aged. If you want to start creating content that gets results, you must be uploading from an account that is at least 7 days old and has a watch history. If you don't do this, YouTube will think your account is spam and you'll have no chance at getting views. Now, coming into our channel customization, you will see that we need to give our channel some updates. I'm going to come to ChatGPT because I don't really know where to start with this. I will start off by giving ChatGPT a simple description of the channel that we are taking inspiration from. So you will see in my prompt there, I have made sure that ChatGPT understands that the channel is themed surrounding a character, and I have provided a screenshot as reference. I do recommend every creator out there to have a brand behind whatever content they are making, whether it's some type of recognizable character or even yourself as a person, because when it comes time to monetize your channel outside of YouTube ads, it will be much more achievable if you have a brand. Okay, but coming back into ChatGPT, it seems it has given us some results here. Some of these are okay, but what sticks out to me is this concept here of broke blocks. I am thinking that this concept of broke blocks with a farmer would allow us to naturally integrate some type of rags to riches storyline. All right, so let's give broke blocks a try as our channel handle. And for your channel handle, you can never have spaces. So let's remove that. And as you'd expect, it is not available. What I like to do if it's not available is just add a reel at the end, and it is available. So let's make sure our broke blocks goes into our channel name. Okay, so that is looking good. Let's do our channel banner and our profile picture. I first started off by using ChatGPT's image generator to generate the profile picture, which looked like this. And then using the same process, I generated the channel banner, which looked like this. ChatGPT does struggle to generate the correct resolution of images, so I had to do some changes in Photoshop. I then exported the images outside of Photoshop. Then I uploaded them both to the channel customization tab, and then the channel was set up in just over 10 minutes. So our channel broke blocks is now set up, ready for our first upload. We have run into one issue so far, which is the consistency with AI image generating, and let me show you. So you can see our profile picture has a happy face, and then our channel banner has a sad face. I am a perfectionist, so these two things do annoy me quite a lot, but I am having to remind myself that these things don't actually affect how many views you get, and it's not going to affect how fast we go viral. So let's continue with what actually matters. Video ideation. Whenever we create a high-performing YouTube video, we go through a phase called ideation, because regardless of how much we validate a niche, it's not the vehicle that gets us the views. It's what videos we upload. That is why I'm about to go deep into researching all about Grow a Garden to create a video topic that is not only relevant, but also unique. I began by reviewing the channel that started this whole challenge to find any commonalities among their most popular videos. What stood out immediately to me was the hooks. There was always some sudden movement within the first frame, and it usually looked like this, where the character was running towards the camera. I took note of this and decided that our hook was going to use this method because it was working so well. Now, to speed up this process, and what I typically do when reviewing high-performing content, is to type out exactly what happens in each scene and note down other details, such as the duration of each scene, a screenshot of the scene, the title of the video, and the performance in terms of views. I did this for 3 popular shorts on the channel, and on the 3rd short, I got an idea of how this Grow a Garden game works, and it's pretty simple. The user just plants a seed, then waits for it to grow, then harvests the seed, and then sells it to a vendor to make game currency. Quite a simple concept for one of the most popular games of all time. But anyway, let's continue. After that research, I fed each of the outlines into ChatGPT for it to help analyze any common patterns. And as we already knew, the storylines were very linear, but it also provided some more ideas that I took on board. From this point onwards, I changed my research strategy, because as I mentioned to you, you do not want to be another clone of an existing channel. So I went further down into the rabbit hole and I found some very interesting insights. So I have found 2 key pieces of information that we're going to leverage for our first video. Firstly, this short here. What do you think caught my attention? And no, it's nothing to do with the video itself, so just ignore that. Have a look. Okay, so it did get over 30 million views, which is great, but that's not what we're looking for. What caught my eye was the amount of comments, 16,000. Now, on a 30 million viewed short, I would probably expect 6,000. So this is a complete outlier in terms of engagement. All of the comments are referring to of a certain game mechanic of having a dog, which has allowed them to get what seems a very desirable game item of a beanstalk seed. And some of the comments here have over 30,000 upvotes. So I have noted this down, and I think we can integrate this proven idea into perhaps the comeback of our short, where the dog would dig up a beanstalk seed for our farmer to go ahead and make a comeback. Now, for my second insight, I did use a tool that members in my private coaching get access to, which is my private niche finding tool. And you can see this channel here caught my attention. If I click and open this channel, just within their first 4 uploads, they achieved over 100 million views. And since then, they are baselining at around 1 million million views per upload. Their entire channel is based around this concept of hackers or admins abusing their power in the game, which is obviously resonating very well with our target audience. So what I think we could do is integrate this proven hacker idea into perhaps the conflict of our short. Now at this point, the overall story flow was still missing a few key components. I was struggling to integrate any idea into the rising action before having some type of hacker conflict. So I did go ahead and restructure the storyline for it to make sense to me. And this left us with something called a looped arc, where now we would have two conflicts. From this point, I decided to make the first rising action a core game mechanic, which would be our character interacting with the vendor. And then the conflict would be the vendor rejecting our item for sale. Both of these ideas were taken straight from the example short that taught us the game mechanics earlier. Then for the second comeback, I decided that we'd just use a call to action to spark the final rising action, which I decided that it would just be our character hustling and planting heaps of seeds. Finally, the payoff was going to be simple. It was just going to be our character getting revenge on the hacker. Obviously, at this point, our story outline is still at a high level and there are gaps that need to be filled. But Rome was not built in a day. These gaps will be filled naturally when we are creating our video. And all of that research and ideation took me just over 20 minutes to complete. So that was longer than I wanted to spend on that, but I did my best to show you my logic because I really want you to understand that original ideas don't win on YouTube. Better execution does. Most people, when they create content, they waste years trying to invent something new or just strictly follow what a popular channel is doing. Before I started to go viral on literally every single channel I start, I didn't realize that many viral videos aren't created from scratch. They're improved. Find what's already working and then make it your own so you'll have no competition and then you'll win big. It's time to bring the storyline that we just created to life using AI, and we aren't going to mess around. I got straight into typing out the story structure that we came up with into ChatGPT, and I asked it to generate image prompts for each of the scenes. And after we got back to the image prompts, I wanted to make a point to you. Okay, so far, what I've done is just copy out our first image prompt, which was our hook, and I've just pasted it at the bottom here. And I just want to show you the first image that we get back from ChatGPT. Here we go. Okay, so after waiting for around 30 seconds, our image is now complete. And as you can see, you can make your own judgment on it, but it is terrible. This is not the quality we want to achieve. And I have shown you this because I want to make the point here, which is that you should not rely solely on ChatGPT or any AI to do the work completely for you. You need to be involved in the process to get good results at the end. So what I'm going to do now is use this exact same prompt and slightly edit it, and then also add in some reference images, which I've referenced in the image prompt. And let's have a look now at what it looks like. Okay, so the image generation is done, and as you can see, the quality difference is substantial. With that out the way, it was on to creating the first animation. And to do this, I used an AI video generator. All I did was input the image that we generated from ChatGPT and instructed the generator to have the character running towards the camera and have the ground moving. After that was typed out, I generated the video using the generate button. And after waiting 1 minute, you can see from my reaction how impressed I was with the quality. So I just got back the first video prompt, and yeah, each time I use AI in this way and I'm actually like hands-on with it in terms of my prompts, the quality is insane. Like, I just want to point out to you that his hat is even interacting with the sun as he moves up and down. Very excited to see how this video is going to perform and turn out. AI just blows my mind away. And this shows you that AI as a tool has come so far. And now what is holding you back with animation content especially is just your idea.
I got my AI algorithm ready to go. I just need to create videos. I just haven't dedicated time to it. But I really have the skills and equipment to do it. Not everybody has the equipment and skills and knowledge. It takes a lot of knowledge and skills. You also need to have some art skills as well. Let's just hear what this has to say.
You have exactly 3 seconds to decide whether your YouTube video goes viral or gets buried in obscurity. And 99% of creators are failing this test.
I'm just gonna edit my videos, but I don't upload
right
them.
Now, As you're watching this, your brain already made a split-second decision about whether to keep watching or click away. That decision happened faster than you could consciously think about it, and it's the same decision that determines whether your videos get 100 views or 100 million views. But here's what most creators don't understand. Those first 3 seconds aren't just important, they're everything. And by the end of this video, I'm going to reveal the exact psychological triggers that separate viral videos from complete failures, plus the simple framework that...
Yo, what's up? How you doing? How's your day going? Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it so much.
You know about YouTube success is
thank you for saying hi.
But first, let me tell you about the creator who discovered this rule the hard way. Most people
what are you up
think
to today?
Success is about fancy thumbnails or expensive equipment. But what if I told you it all comes down to a psychological principle that casinos have been using for decades to keep people glued to slot machines?
No, I'm so sorry for telling you I didn't mean it, bro. Loudly crying face.
Thought were perfect videos, professional lighting, crisp audio, engaging topics, everything YouTube gurus told him to do.
Sure, bro, no problem. I'm okay. How's your day going?
One day, Marcus accidentally uploaded a video where he forgot to edit out the first few seconds. Instead of his usual polished intro, the video
I didn't mean to troll you on the Call of Duty thing.
Notes, muttering, where did I put that thing? But
sure, no problem, bro. I don't mind. I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
More than all his previous videos combined.
I've been bullied all my life since I was a little baby.
Others, lower production value, no fancy intro, just raw, unfiltered panic. But
because I was very, very dumb growing up. I was telling that at the beginning of the stream.
Call the attention capture window.
And all of a sudden, at 17, I just grew it.
Here's the science. When someone clicks on your video, their brain enters what researchers call a decision state. For exactly 3 seconds, they're subconsciously asking, is this worth my time? During those 3 seconds, your viewer's brain is scanning for 3 specific signals. 1, relevance. Does this match what I expected? 2,
yeah, I was telling people at the beginning of the stream, I couldn't learn how to read and write. I was just very slow.
All 3 signals, the brain releases a
but I still had a lot of things that I wanted to do.
Miss even one, and they're gone forever.
Growing up, I used to draw a lot, and I wanted to go to the moon.
Immediately showed him in distress.
I wanted to go to NASA.
And the panic was relatable to anyone who's
and I used to build
relevance. But here's where it gets
my own helicopters.
This is something that even million subscriber channels get wrong. The
motors that have to do with like RC cars or some kind of little motor. I just took it out and tried to build my own little helicopter.
Who studied what happens in people.
But I didn't know what I was doing, but I should have built the drone, but I didn't have the visual.
And showed them hundreds of video openings. What she discovered was shocking. In the first 3 seconds, viewers showed the exact same activity patterns as people gambling in casinos.
But
the same neural pathways that make slot machines addictive were firing when people watched engaging.
So what are you doing? What's up with you?
Videos that failed to hook viewers in those first 3 seconds.
Yeah, you know,
brain activity similar
it's all
to
a
people
game.
Experiencing physical pain, literally. The brain interpreted boring content as a threat to be avoided. Dr. Chen realized that successful YouTubers weren't just entertainers, they were accidentally using the same psychological triggers that casinos spend millions perfecting. This is why the 3-second rule is so powerful. You're not just competing for attention, you're competing with every dopamine hit your viewer could get elsewhere. Social media, video games, even their own thoughts. The most successful creators understand this instinctively. They know that those first 3 seconds need to create what psychologists call a curiosity gap, a mental itch that can only be scratched by watching the entire video. Think about Mr. Beast's openings. I spent 50 hours buried alive, or
I guess that's what kids are addicted to. That's why, because they'll doom scrolling.
They're psychological weapons designed to make clicking away literally
I guess their brains are fried. They can't even hear us. That's why they can't even read the Bible.
Well, I've broken down the 3-second rule into a simple framework that any creator can use, and it's already helped over 1,000 creators increase their retention by 300% or more. Remember Jessica?
Lies.
Stuck at 5,000 subscribers for 3 years. She was making beautiful recipe videos, but they all started the same way. Hi everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're making boring, predictable brain-numbing. Then Jessica learned the 3-second framework. Instead of her usual intro, her next video started with, "I just burned down my kitchen making this recipe, but it was so worth it." That video got 2 million views. Her subscriber count jumped to 100,000 in 2 months.
I
Recipes,
very
same
much
kitchen,
dislike those
same
type of
Jessica,
videos that start
but
out
completely
with,
different opening.
"Oh, I
Here's the exact
just
framework Jessica
did
used.
this
It
and I
works for
got
any
this
niche.
result."
The P-A-I-N.
So you have to burn down your kitchen to
T is
get
for
a good
problem,
recipe.
Start with conflict or tension. A is for
That's very-
anticipation, T is what's coming. I is for intrigue. Add an
Yeah, I'm not
unexpected
giving
element.
kids
N is
no
for now.
dopamine hits. I'm
Create immediate urgency. Let's break this down.
just trying to
Problem.
make money
Don't
off
start with
YouTube
conflict,
ads so I can
start
help
with
homeless
conflict.
kids
This mistake
that
cost
need
me
help,
$10,000.
a lot of help.
It's harder than today.
Especially
I
the
want to talk about
fatherless
business
kids.
mistakes.
Those need more help than
Anticipation.
ever.
Tease the payoff without giving it away. By the end of this video, you'll know the secret that changed everything, creates a curiosity loop.
I just want to see
Intrigue.
what the heck is
Add
this
something
about.
unexpected. The
I didn't
solution
get
came
that.
from a 7-year-old kid makes people think, wait, what?
I missed
now,
it.
create urgency. This only works if you do it in the next 24 hours, or most people will never hear this information. But even knowing this framework, most creators still
That's a
make
lie.
3 fatal mistakes in their first 3 seconds. And any one of these mistakes will kill your video's chances of going viral, no matter
That's a
how
lie,
good the
that's a
rest of your
lie,
content
that's a
is.
lie.
Take
It's
David,
all about the
a fitness
content,
YouTuber who thought he understood
if they
the
like the
3-second
content
rule.
and they
He
like
started
the
his
creator,
videos with
that's all
dramatic
that
statements like,
matters.
"This workout will change your life," but his videos were still flopping. The problem? David was making mistake number 1, the false promise. His dramatic openings created expectations his content couldn't deliver. Viewers felt tricked, clicked away, and YouTube's algorithm punished him for it. Then there's Maria, a tech
YouTube
reviewer who started every
algorithm,
video with "What's up, tech fam?" She thought she was building community, but she was actually making mistake number 2, the assumption. She assumed viewers already cared about her and wanted to be part of her fam.
See, that's
But
what I
your viewers
said.
Don't care about you yet. They care about their problems. Finally, there's Kevin, who learned about hooks and started every video with, "You won't believe what happened next." This is mistake number 3, the clickbait trap. Kevin's retention actually got worse because viewers felt manipulated. Modern audiences are smart. They can smell fake drama from a mile away. Here's how to avoid these mistakes. Instead of false promises, use honest intrigue. Don't
I
promise
just need to turn this in, that's all.
Promise to
So
show them
people
something
can
specific and valuable.
stay,
Instead of
as
assumptions,
soon as they
use
get
universal
killed,
problems.
people
Don't assume
leave.
familiarity. Start
But
with
the
problems.
life
Everyone
starts
in your
very
niche
good.
Faces. Instead of clickbait,
But I don't want to
use
be a
genuine
cheater. I don't want to be a better
Don't
male.
manufacture drama. Find
So
the
I'll just
naturally
stick
interesting
with the
angles in
regular
your content. The best
free
hooks feel
aim
effortless because they're built on genuine value, not manipulation. Now, if you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 90% of creators. But there's one advanced technique
up.
that separates the good creators from the legendary ones, and it's something most people will never think to try. This technique comes from studying the most viral videos of all time. I analyzed the first 3 seconds of every video with over 100 million views in the past year, and I found something incredible. The most viral videos don't just hook you in the first 3 seconds, they create what I call a hook cascade. Every few seconds, they give you another reason to keep watching. Look at the most viral video of 2024. It starts with a shocking statement, then immediately adds context that makes it even more shocking.
That's the
then
most viral
teases an
crap
even bigger
ever.
revelation coming later. It's like a series of dominoes, each one bigger than the last. Here's how to create your own hook cascade. Seconds 1 to 3. The initial hook using PAIN. Seconds 4 to 7. Add context that amplifies the hook. Seconds 8 to 12. Tease the biggest payoff. Coming later. Seconds 13 to 15. Give a small taste of value to prove you're worth watching. This creates multiple save points where viewers recommit to
long.
watching. Even if they were about to click away at second 5, the amplification at second 7 pulls them back in. Most creators front load everything in the first 3 seconds, then let energy drop. Hook cascades maintain that initial energy and build on it. The 3-second rule isn't just about those first few moments, it's about understanding that every second of your video is competing for your viewers' attention in an increasingly distracted world. Master those first 3 seconds, and you're not just improving one video. You're building a skill that will transform every piece of content you ever create. But here's what most creators don't realize. Even perfect hooks won't build you a sustainable YouTube business. You might get views, you might even go viral, but without the right business foundation, you'll be stuck on the content hamster wheel forever. trading your time for views with no real income to show for it. I learned this the hard way after helping creators generate millions of views, but watching them struggle to turn those views into actual revenue. That's when I discovered the missing piece that separates hobbyist creators from full-time YouTube entrepreneurs. The difference isn't just better content, it's understanding how to build a complete business system around your channel. How to turn viewers into customers, how to create multiple income streams, and how to scale beyond just ad revenue. That's exactly why I created my free YouTube Business Blueprint course. It's a complete step-by-step system that shows you how to transform your channel from a hobby into potentially a six-figure business, even if you're starting from 0 subscribers. We have the course on YouTube for free right now, so if you want to watch it, you can check it out next to me right here. Because once you master the 3-second rule and the Business Blueprint, you'll have everything you need to build the YouTube empire you've always dreamed of. See you there.
Nice.
Holy smokes. We've just analyzed over 9 million YouTube videos that reveal some...
What? Shut up. That's a lie. That's a lie. You just that's just a lie, bro. You can't analyze every single one, bro. That's just a lie. See, all these YouTube creators that say they can make money and all this, but they're not helping anybody.
Hi everyone, I'm Shelly.
YouTube haters.
Space Lake Home. I'm back with another video, and today's topic is, who will see Jesus coming in the clouds?
I will.
One of the biggest
For
things
sure.
that a lot of Christians
Not the
are
haters
looking
that hate
for
me.
in their future is to one day see Jesus coming in the clouds. And this is coming in reference to Revelation 1:7, which we'll talk about in a minute. But they believe that one day they're going to see Jesus up in the sky, coming down in the clouds, and that every eye on the earth is going to see him. Now, that's not the only topic of this video today. This topic is actually a part of a broader series in which we have been discussing using the book Christianity's Great Dilemma, Is Jesus Coming Again or Is He Not? By Glenn Hill. The question of, when did Jesus say that he was going to come? I know that many of you are probably jumping into the comments right now with the verse from Matthew 24, where Jesus said, no one knows the day or the hour, and you are correct. He did say that. He said, no one knows the day or the hour. However, he knew the general time frame, and in fact, he gave the signs to look for so that people would know that that time was about to happen. In this day and age, there is so much talk about Jesus' return and so much talk about the end times and the last days. And while this has certainly been going on for generations upon generations, you hear it even more now just because of the technology that we have for these things to spread far and wide across the internet. So that's why it's so important to look at what Jesus said in the Word of God to tell us, or to tell the people that he was talking to, an important thing to remember, what signs to look for and when he would be coming. So let's start with today's verse.
Welcome in. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We're going to start.
Hope you guys having a good day.
And then we'll also read 64. But Jesus remained silent. Then the high priest said to him, I charge you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God. You have said it yourself, Jesus answered. But I say to all of you, from now on, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven. So let's first answer two very important questions. Number one, who was Jesus speaking to when he said that? he was speaking to the Sanhedrin and the high priests. This occurred
I gotta
after
erase
his
something.
arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane. The next question is this. What does this have to do with when Jesus said that he would be coming? Well, let's go back to the verse and reread it, and I'm going to see if you can see where this comes in. We're just going to read verse 64 this time. Jesus said to him, "You have said so, but I tell you, from now on you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." Did you catch it? If you did, I'm going to give you a huge pat on the back, because even though I have now been studying this for almost 2 years
I'll take this
and
out.
have really been trying to always
There we
keep
go.
audience relevance in mind, I still missed this one, but I'm going to share with you now. He said to them, "From now on, you
YouTube
will see the
haters.
Son of Man seated at the right hand of
YouTube
power
hates
and coming on
me.
the
Well, not
clouds of heaven."
YouTube. People on YouTube hate me
So,
because I speak
who
the
did
truth.
he say that
And
to? He said that to the high priests and the Sanhedrin, and he told them that they would see
YouTubers
the
are
Son of Man
haters.
coming on the clouds of heaven. And this actually fits beautifully with Revelation 1:7. "Behold, he is coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him, even those who pierced him, and all tribes of the earth will wail on account of him. Even so, amen." So here in Revelation 1:7, once again, it is speaking of Jesus coming on the clouds, and every eye will see him, even those who pierced him. Who pierced him?
the Romans.
Why, it was the Sanhedrin, in essence. It was the unbelieving Jews who called for his death. And what did he just say to them? "From now on, you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." And here it is again. So, did any of us today pierce him? No. Were any of us today speaking to Jesus here after his arrest? Were any of us in the Sanhedrin? No. He was not speaking to us. In fact, in Revelation 1:7, you will see a cross-reference to Zechariah 12:10. "Then I will pour out on the house of David and on the people of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and prayer, and they will look on me, the one they have pierced. They will mourn for him as one mourns for an only child, and grieve bitterly for him as one grieves for a firstborn son." So as we see this cross-reference to Revelation 1:7, and let's remember that Revelation 1:7 is also related to Matthew 26, in Zechariah, it tells us specifically who this is about. It's about the house of David and the people of Jerusalem. And
How,
again,
bro?
it
How?
says,
How
"They
did I
will
get
look
that?
on
I don't
me,
know,
the
bro.
one they have pierced." So here we have 3 passages in a row. All of them
Oh, what
related,
did I do?
and we have
I don't
2
want to
of
do
these
that.
3
Calm
passages
down.
speaking of Jesus coming on the clouds, and he is talking
The mouse
about
goes crazy
a very
sometimes. I don't know
distinct
why.
group of people, isn't he?
Aim assist.
So, in order for this prophecy to be true, then what that means is that some of the members of the Sanhedrin and
What happened
the high
there? I
priest,
just
the
wanna
high
see.
priest would have had to
I
have
got
been
killed. Okay.
alive when he still returned.
But
I'm
that's
sorry,
over
not
a
still
minute now.
returned, when he returned.
Oh
So I'm going
man.
to try to make this very clear. He was talking about coming in the clouds to them, not us. He was talking about them, the first
That was too
century
long?
enemies of
Okay.
his, not us in the 21st century. He was telling them that they would see him coming in the clouds, not us. And the interesting about this is
Okay,
that
that's
Jesus
good.
didn't only say this to his enemies. He also said this to his followers. He told his followers that his coming would be in their lifetime. So we have Jesus saying that to the Sanhedrin and the high priest, and we have Jesus saying that to his disciples. So here are some other passages that we've gone through in this series, just to remind you of this, to show you
That's
how
cool.
beautifully this all fits together. So first, in today's verse, we had Jesus telling the Sanhedrin and the high priest that they will see him coming in the clouds of heaven. In Matthew 24:34, Jesus said to his disciples, "Truly,
YouTube haters.
this generation will not pass
But
away
if I had
until
some
all
kind
these
of
things take place."
nasty thing on
Then if
here,
we go to
girl
Matthew
shaking her booty,
16, we'll
I
start
would have a
verse
lot of
27
viewers.
And read 28 too.
I'm pretty
For the
sure.
Son of Man will come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will repay each one according to what he has done. Truly I tell you, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man come.
YouTube haters. That's all it is. Okay. That's that. All right, that's fine. I'll decide to leave it there. Okay. Delete. All right, we'll scroll through this one real quick. Is this a multiplayer game? Yeah, that was another multiplayer game. All right, got some. We got something. Did we win? Defeat. It was defeat. Okay. I just want to see if I got anything. I got first blood. Okay. Three days ago. Okay. The final beast of prophecy. Okay.
Today, we are dealing with when AI tells you a big lie. And to help us today, we have a special guest all the way from Canada, Cal Smith, Executive Director and Speaker for AIG Canada. Cal, is it true? 3 kids, but 12 grandkids?
No, it's not true. I got 13 now.
Whoa,
let's go.
You've survived life having to work with Ken Ham. That's what you call it.
Yeah, well, I get to.
Welcome, man. Good morning. Hopefully you don't dislike us or hate us because we're talking about the truth.
You're
hearing wisdom.
I'm just a gamer, PC builder.
Experimentation with AI, and so
I like to hear real truth.
It's gone viral, so to speak, at least in the
While I edit my videos.
realm, we could call them viral. Elon Musk just announced Grok 4. Popping out and claimed that it was better than any PhD in their field simultaneously in all fields.
Elon Musk.
We're here to help people.
The danger of AI is much greater.
Hopefully we can raise money for homeless kids and fatherless kids and people with terminal illnesses.
Is indicating that one of the biggest ways in which they use chat is for personal relationships and therapy.
Haters!
Chat is already among a younger generation.
Haters!
Real life embodied connection with other people, and they're turning to it.
Haters! They just hate me. That's it.
Emotionally intimate level, which is frightening.
What do you think about that? I mean, are you concerned?
The authority that young people are putting in these bots, it's programmed by people who have biases, and it's only as good as the sum of its parts. In the end, you're talking to a chat bot that hallucinates a lot and gives you very incorrect information. And I've had it actually make up quotes. It'll say, "Oh yeah, Science Magazine 19 edition," and it'll come up with a completely false name. I'll go to fact check it, and it's not there. Really cautioning people, don't put your faith in any of this. Sure. I apply some parameters to the AI. So I ask it to stick to strict logic, mathematical probability, and observational science. Tell it, I don't want any worldview opinions. I don't want anything based on a belief in God or belief in atheism or even consensus science unless it conforms to strict logic, mathematical probability, and observational science. So then I ask it a series of questions. And I already did test runs with several friends to come up with the questions and see if they could get similar answers because I wanted to know whether it was duplicatable or not. And it is if you set those parameters, which are the gold standard of science. science. If you're trying to come up with a quote-unquote unbiased opinion, you should be able to apply those standards to anything. And then at the end of the conversation, what I'll do is I'll get it to reset and say, okay, treat me like a first-time user with no history between us, and then ask it the same type of question. And what it will do is it will revert to its consensus science answers. So for example, the third
consensus.
In about a month, you'll hear me go through and I'm talking about chimp-human DNA similarity.
My aim was
in the
on.
70s was announced as 98 to 99% similarity between chimps and humans, supposedly proving our common ancestry. At the end, I get it to say, okay, well, access the
That's
most
a lot of
recent
videos to
Nature
edit.
article on that. What's the percentage similarity now? Well, it's down to 86% now, which means according to the latest study,
Well, we got plenty of hours.
Is supposed to share about 90% similarity with humans.
What's up? What's up? Hopefully we don't get no haters.
Using that argument. Answer me as a
You got people stop by and then as soon as they start talking, they leave.
Access his chat. Tell me the top
I don't know why, but
evidences
I guess people just hate me.
scientists would quote as to why they believe we evolved from apes. Number one, we share 98 to 99%.
Oh, here we go with the apes.
If you apply the parameters, which is
So a white person comes from black Africa.
Answers, but as soon as you don't know what you're talking about, so to speak, it'll just spit out the consensus science answers. By the way, I've done this with Grok. I've done it with Chat.
All right, enough of the chit chat. What's up? What's up? Hopefully we don't have no haters in live. What's up with you guys? We're just editing our videos while we listen to random YouTube videos. Hopefully we don't have no haters. Hopefully you guys like the live and share, please. That will help a lot. I'm trying to raise money for homeless kids and fatherless kids and people with terminal illnesses so I can help people, not like the top creators that don't help anybody. I'm actually trying to change the world. Even though it's going to be impossible against these rulers right here, these people right there that are in power.
You are an outspoken whistleblower. You've called out the Davos elites.
Let's go. See, those are the people who are against. Those are the, well, one of them, he's not in charge anymore. He was in charge, but the person in charge of the UN, that's who we're going against.
You need a great reset.
And all the elites.
How did you get to a point where you helped build the WEF's Great Reset?
In 2020, I get my dream job. So I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer at Deutsche Bank. When I was there, that's when I see the fraud. Everything is a marketing scam. The bottom line is this. We cannot issue this annual report. This is a legal living document. It is filled with lies. And a couple of weeks later, I was fired. And the next day, the annual report came out with all the lies. They don't just fire me. They go on this horrific smear campaign. Within 2 days, the U.S. authorities call me up. The SEC, the FBI, and the Department of Justice.
Really?
And they ask me,
you're going further than they're controlling the world.
The WEF is huge. Its tentacles affect every part of your life. This isn't stakeholder capitalism. This is socialism. They're lying to the public. They've manufactured a climate crisis. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industrial complex. The Davos agenda is much more than just net zero. The Davos agenda is about...
Desiree, I should
the
ask...
Davos agenda and the UN...
Anything to say about it?
With Donald Trump and the Illuminati. What happened? What happened?
Before we get into this,
too much drama.
I just wanted to say that we have noticed that more than half of our regular viewers are not subscribed. If you want to support,
they don't subscribe, man. They don't support,
all you have to do is press subscribe.
Especially when you talk about the truth.
More phenomenal guests exploring the issues you want to hear about that the mainstream media won't touch. But without further ado,
exactly,
on with the interview.
They don't like us.
Thank you so much for coming to speak.
We get a lot of haters.
You have gone viral several
so many haters
over the last few months because you are an outspoken whistleblower.
I messed up.
You've called out the Davos elite, Klaus Schwab, and the machinations of the WEF, or WEF as you've been calling it before we started. Before we get into all of that, I want to know your story.
We'll fix it
How
up.
did you get to a point where
I missed all that,
you
bro.
helped build the WEF's Great Reset?
Sure. It starts pretty mundane. I was an investment banker working between London and Frankfurt at big firms. And of course, like even back then, I started in 1994.
Just a game. It's just a game.
Bankers kind of had a bad reputation. There was always like a wanker in the banker. And, you know, it was in the
Now they're all
Great
wankers.
Financial crisis. I could see that the excess was too much.
I don't
even
think
for me.
there's a
You know, I loved
morally
it, and I
correct
benefited
person
from it,
in the
but
banking industry. You have to sell out.
Became all too acceptable.
To keep your job, you have to sell out.
became way too excessive. And so I decided to take a step out,
Oh, that was-
and I got involved with socially responsible investing. And I thought that was
I
a way
missed.
that, you know, I could say, yes, I'm a banker, but I'm a good banker. So
Gamer
I
Boy
started my
Mac
journey, this whole
Yo, what's up?
BSC, WEF
Your setup
journey
is so cool.
from kind of
Thank you,
living
thank you. I flipped a lot of
with
computers and
original
work in the
people in
music
this
industry
that's
to
why
get
I
all this,
say
bro. I
for
work
years,
as a Mexican.
You know, from 2005.
No social security number, no driver's license, just my bare hands and skills. That's all. That's how I did it. No diploma. No diploma required. No nothing. I'm trying to help homeless kids and people with terminal illnesses. Hopefully this helps other people. I'm trying to teach people all that I know, all my skills, all the knowledge and skills that I know in life. And besides that, I'm trying to help out like the homeless kids and people with terminal illnesses. So if I ever make millions of dollars with ads, with the YouTube ads, I'll help everybody, because we gotta help. We gotta create our real. We have to make something out there in the community. Create
Gamer
real
Boy Mac
places. That
said, correct, have a good stream. Okay, you're such a nice person.
Thank you. Can you give a like? That'll give a lot of help. A like and a share, pro. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. Have a great day. Yo, and then I'll start playing Call of Duty here in a
Gamer
little
Boy
bit.
Mac
It's crazy
said,
when you do that pinpoint.
Sure, bro.
All right, thank you, bro. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thanks for stopping by. If you ever need help with your PC build, I'm here. I do free online live PC build emergency in calls, or whatever you want to call it. I'm the only streamer that takes free. Not like takes free. How do you say accepts or gives free? I guess not advice, but like, how do you say, like when you have an emergency and you don't have no one to talk to and you just call someone, and it's like I don't know, how would you describe it? It's like a 24-hour hot call or hot service, or I don't know, when you need emergency help. I was just making random noise so I can keep myself entertained. It's kind of hard to describe it. It's like one of those 24-hour emergency places for PCs instead of like a mechanic. You know how you have 24-hour mechanics that are on standby and you just call them up and you get free service anywhere you're at, especially for the diesel trucks? Well, I want to be like that as well, but here on the YouTube, and give free live support. That's a really good way of saying it. Free live emergency support. Okay. And I'm just editing my videos, nothing to do here except that, even though they're not the best, but even though I don't get any views or supporters or likes.
2021. I
we'll
was a
keep going.
chief
We'll
architect
keep
of
going.
all of this stuff. I supported it. I wasn't like, I'm not saying I worked for Klaus Schwab, but I worked for other firms building the buy-in for this agenda.
Okay, so this is before the crash that you actually have this moment where you want to do more responsible investing and professional behavior. So how does that begin?
Professional behavior.
What did that look like? What were the first things enticing you? Was it
That should be
zero?
fine.
I mean, it's
There's
a little bit
nothing
too
wrong
early
with
for
that.
net zero.
It was a little bit too early.
Shareholder capitalism?
It was,
Which stakeholder, I should say.
Exactly.
Shareholder being Milton Friedman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Milton's version, which of course I was raised on. But then, of course, you get introduced to Klaus Schwab's version, stakeholder capitalism.
I was
And
just
that
waiting
just
for it.
sounds-
What
that's
the heck?
perfect. Profit with
Let's
purpose.
take it a little bit shorter.
Capitalism with a conscience. And I thought to myself, wow, this is an amazing opportunity. So I had two hats on. I had my banker hat that knew this would sell. This is profitable stuff, right? This guy has a great narrative around
Some pretty
it.
cool stuff.
And on the other side, said, I truly believe in this. We can make a difference. We can take institutional money and we can invest it in strategies that offer great financial returns.
Oh, it's like the aim assist goes crazy when you
social
do
and
that pinpoint.
environmental impact. So I did believe in it, but I did it because it was profitable. Right? I had senior positions. So what drove me is, in all honesty, at that time was a belief in it. But I also knew it was the next big thing.
Yo, what's up, haters?
I wasn't
Nobody wants to stop by or give a
all,
like or nothing,
but
bro.
I understood that
Why?
this was a hugely growing market, and there would be
Why is Call of Duty dead? Because people in the community.
Why is Call of Duty so dominant?
Dominant?
This series started in 2003, and for 2 straight decades, it stayed on top of gaming. The sales, the hype, the cultural grip this game has had on the world is incredible. But finally, after all these years, something's cracking. The numbers are slipping, the community's frustrated, and for the first time ever, fans are jumping ship, and they're jumping to its biggest rival. So how did Call of Duty dominate for so long, and might it finally be dying? To understand that, we need to go back, not to 2003 when Call of Duty first started, but the year before. It's 2002, and Activision sees this rising tide, first-person shooters. Almost every other publisher has a big shooter on the market, and Activision wants in. But which way do they go? You see, 2 genres were big at the time. First of them was sci-fi. You had Quake, you had Doom, Half-Life, Unreal Tournament, and most important of all, Halo. And these games were selling millions of copies. And on the other side was World War II, which is mainly just EA's Medal of Honor. Activision decided to go with the World War II shooter. And the reason was because of Infinity Ward. You see, this studio was important. Why? Because it was a team who had worked on Medal of Honor under 2015 Inc. And almost all of them left to form their own studio. 25 developers. This was a super team and had been formed to create Call of Duty. And for our story, 2 people specifically stand out. Jason West and Vince Zampella. These 2 had been friends, they'd been colleagues since the 90s. And eventually this duo became leaders at 2015 Inc. Jason was the lead developer, he was in the weeds, designing gameplay mechanics, leading the technical design, where Vince was the lead producer, deadlines, budgets, and of course dealing with publishers. They had led the work on Medal of Honor Allied Assault, and while it wasn't as big as Halo, it had great reviews and was called the best single-player shooter since Half-Life. Jason, Vince, and the team, they knew their stuff. And what's more important is that they were sick of EA. So they went to Activision. EA's top talent for their shooter was now leaving to one of their biggest competitors, who, by the way, gave them funding, $1.5 million for a 30% stake. But little did Vince and Jason know, this would eventually turn from a partnership to a power struggle for the soul of Call of Duty.
I like the
but for now,
momentum in the
Infinity
game.
Ward,
There's
they
nothing
got back to work. And soon in 2003, they made history.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that was a sniper.
This wasn't just a reskinned Medal of Honor, but something else. Medal of Honor, it was known as being authentic. It was grounded. It had these time-accurate weapons, animations, uniforms, the sound design.
Yeah, it
felt
was
like
kick-ass.
Private Ryan because
how you guys
in a way,
doing
it
out there?
was.
Yeah,
how you guys doing out there?
Produced by
Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it.
He had been a writer for
Hopefully I don't get no
Allied
haters in the
Crazy,
live.
right?
Hopefully you
And so
guys
it
like
felt
the
like
live
this
and
real
help me
historic
get some
game. But there was something very
AdSense.
different about Call of Duty that made it stand out.
So we can help some homeless kids or people with terminal illnesses.
In-engine cutscenes.
I don't know if I
Call of Duty
should. I'm
was
just gonna
the
check what's in here.
fast-paced action movie. And some of these levels from that first game are iconic.
This is
Medal
bad.
of Honor felt immersive, but Call of Duty was exciting.
No,
And
there
it
was
blew
nothing
up.
in there.
As IGN put it, you have to love a game that glues you to your seat and keeps you interested. Vince, Jason, and the whole team at Infinity Ward, they done it. These guys got shooters. They understood this genre. They knew how to make them and knew what made them fun. And Activision quickly realized they had a hit. So sales, they came
I think you'll see they're one of
high,
these.
and the game even won multiple awards. But it was still behind Medal of Honor in sales.
I got some good.
So
I got
Activision
some
doubled
good
down.
content for
And with
yesterday
this
and today.
came a problem.
I got a
Call of Duty 2 released,
edit.
and then Call of Duty 3, both World War II.
I guess they
Everything
must have
sold well. It
gotten.
really was going well, but something else was happening. EA was pumping out Medal of Honor titles, and in just 7 years, they had released 9 games. 9.
I got some good.
They were
I got
just
some good
milking
content.
that genre dry, and all of them had been World War II themed. They all just had that similar flavor, kind of that same thing, just slightly improved. And fans were starting to feel the fatigue. Not only were they feeling fatigue from Medal of Honor, but also of Call of Duty. And so Activision, Infinity Ward, they needed to pivot away from that World War II feel. They needed a facelift, something fresh for fans, but also something to bring in new players. And that brings us back to Infinity Ward. At the helm, Jason West and Vince Zampella, they were working on something different. World War II games, they were out. And replacing it, Modern Warfare. Directed by Jason West, this was a total revamp. Instead of historical battles, everything was brought forward. The weapons, the maps, the aesthetic, but also the single player. These had some of the most fun, most tightly designed missions in a shooter. I mean, all gillied up. Oh, this mission, perfect. It wasn't a run and gun.
I guess I
mission,
must have
instead
gotten
it was this
something.
atmospheric, this nail-biting stealth mission where you could just feel your heartbeat. And by the way, this took 3 months of work and more than 10,000 lines of code to make that first minute of gameplay. And there's a reason why it's still a fan favorite. Players felt like they were in the boots of Special Forces of today. It felt real, it felt modern. Yet it still had this epic, fast-paced Call of Duty fun. And there's one more big change that just completely redefined Call of Duty. The previous games had multiplayer, but they didn't have it like this.
Multiplayer is a huge component of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. We are so incredibly excited about it. The guys around the office are playing it nonstop.
And what made this even more fun is that while you played for hours and hours enjoying this gameplay, you got to grind for more prestige. So you were unlocking these skins, and hopefully those golden skins, if anybody remembers those. That's right, there was no battle pass, no rotating skin shop, no overpriced, bundled with predatory pricing. You couldn't buy it, you had to earn everything. Just a full price game, jam-packed with value. And let me tell you, this, to me, was the golden age.
Back in the day.
I spent hundreds of hours playing this game after school, and I wasn't the only one. The game sold 10 million copies in just 9 months. So naturally, they decided to make a sequel, but not Call of Duty 5. Instead, they made Modern Warfare 2. And this modern direction, it was working. After the success of the first Modern Warfare, Activision, they wanted more. But the brain and the heart of Call of Duty, it wasn't Activision, it was Infinity Ward. And before making Modern Warfare 2, Vince and Jason had made it clear. No more Call of Duty without compensation. Infinity Ward needed to be given their bonuses, their flowers. Activision couldn't hoard all of this success. But also, the smaller publisher, these guys wanted to retain some control. They had seen how EA had handled or mishandled Medal of Honor. Because these guys had made one of the best shooters of all time at EA, and then they left their team high and dry. And they didn't want this to happen again. Activision, of course, did not want to lose their new golden goose, so they signed a contract with Infinity Ward. But unfortunately, Vince and Jason, they were outmatched. They were dealing with Bobby Kotick, one of the slimiest people in the business world. Bobby, or probably one of Bobby's lawyers, snuck in a loophole in this contract, which would cause a huge disaster for our heroes in the future. But for now, Infinity Ward, they were
that looks good.
And somehow they topped themselves again.
This is the first time in the Call of Duty franchise that we've done a sequel, so we're excited about that. You know, we spent a lot of time really crafting the story and the characters in the last game in Modern Warfare, so it's great to be able to continue that story and keep that world alive.
This game had everything from Modern Warfare, just amped it up to 11. And they weren't just playing it safe. Experiencing Modern Warfare 2's campaign for the very first time, dude, this is still one of the best, most memorable gaming experiences ever.
Okay, so
No rush.
And that multiplayer, back in the day, this was peak gaming. And it was so popular that it sold over 25 million copies, making 310 million in a day. Vince, Jason, Infinity Ward, they killed it. And likewise, the friends at Treyarch, who were just finishing Call of Duty World at War in 2008, they're about to kill it as well. Which, if you guys look back, it seems odd, because you might be thinking, look, there's a billion World War II games. Why did this game explode? The game was amazing. It focused on something different than most of them. Usually it was focused on the Western Front, and this time they focused more on the Pacific and the Eastern Front. But really, the reason why World at War was so successful was because of this. Zombies. A co-op survival mode. Fight off the horror.
No, that's a lie.
Guns.
I never
This
played
was
zombies.
so innovative, and it changed everything.
It was boring, bro.
This was the Call of Duty version of Halo's Firefighter. And it was just a bonus mode. One map. But everyone I know got this game just for zombies. They even had a version for your iPod Touch back then. Yet even with this success, Treyarch still knew it was time to leave World War II behind. And soon they released their new title, Black Ops.
Do not pray for easy lives, my friends. Pray to be stronger men.
Agonized kitchen a tep bet.
This was modern, but not like
Yo, cheap viewers, let's go.
Cheap viewing on a
Don't get no support, bro. No support, bro. I don't get no support from YouTube yet. Well, once I make money, I'll probably buy real viewers, not cheap viewers, but some real viewers.
Amped it up. They'd experiment and push the genre.
Once I get real support on YouTube.
Experimenting got them in some trouble.
What's that? Once
they were doing stuff
the
that
haters
everyone else would copy.
stop hating.
And we need to look no further than their old rival, Medal of Honor, who was still beating that dead horse. 12 games, all World War II, and they even released 3 games in 2007 alone.
Okay.
Let me tell you, they weren't doing well. Sales were down, and so were reviews. EA had milked the genre for everything it had. So in 2010, 2 years after Modern Warfare, they changed course, becoming...
it's already over a minute.
Hear them out. It was going to be a total reboot, set in the modern war in Afghanistan. So now EA was chasing Activision. The game was a huge success, yet it still was nothing. It paled in comparison to Call of Duty. The quality just wasn't there. And the sequel was a huge failure. It didn't have the polish, the fun, or the innovation of Call of Duty. Every new COD game just felt like it was epic, fresh, and it was novel. It was always something crazy to talk about or to do with your friends. From Gillied Up, Zombies, multiplayer, or the campaign.
I had no friends back in the day.
All these games were just something
I was all by
else.
myself.
Which brings us back
I was already
to
growing
Vincent
up.
Jason. And unfortunately, they were facing their biggest challenge. Vincent Jason loved Call of Duty. But Activision, they didn't love Vincent Jason. You got to understand, these guys were this wall between the big publisher and the gamers. And Activision, and more specifically Bobby Kotick, hated these two guys. And soon, Infinity Ward would be in its own warfare. Not with guns, but with contracts, suits, and espionage. While Infinity Ward were working on Modern Warfare 2, Bobby Kotick began Project Icebreaker. And the goal? Take out Vincent Jason. And that loophole Bobby snuck in that I mentioned earlier? Well, the stipulation was that if Vince and Jason were fired, Activision would acquire the rights to all Infinity Ward games. So Activision leaders began monitoring Vince and Jason's emails. They had their computers hacked. They even monitored their cell phones. They also
that's
tried to
true.
distract
That's just
Infinity Ward with a fake
corruption,
drill
just as usual.
So that Activision investigators
With
could
legal
sneak in and copy
loopholes.
the employees' emails. Absolutely crazy.
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God! Okay,
That's not the first.
Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
And Infinity Ward fought back. After Modern Warfare 2 was wrapping up, Vince and Jason demanded Infinity Ward go independent. Activision would still be their publisher, but they would finally own fully the games they made. And if not, they would stop making Modern Warfare games right then and there. It sounds
Modern
demanding,
Warfare.
but this was part of their contract. They could do this. So Bobby, of course,
I don't know
was
why he said
furious,
I had some
and he
good
wouldn't
clips.
come
I
to the negotiation
don't have
table.
anything.
But worse is what followed. Activision launched an investigation into Infinity Ward to find possible misconduct.
Oh, I get it.
Employees
I
were
already
interviewed
had
under
it.
oath, yet weren't even allowed lawyers or could discuss the investigation with anyone. This was like a real kangaroo court crap going on. So what happened? Activision believed that Infinity Ward was negotiating behind their backs with EA, that Vince and Jason were being financed by EA to create a whole new studio. Activision somehow believed that
We just
they
get
were trying to
haters, that's
sabotage
it.
COD, and that EA was facilitating all this while they were under contract. The connections were pretty shaky at best. And regardless though, they used this as a way to fire Vince and Jason, denying them of their bonuses and royalties. Immediately after this happened, half of Infinity Ward walked out. This was appalling. Vince and Jason, of course, sued for tens of millions. Employees joined them, and Activision then countersued and even dragged EA into all this mess. EA, of course, thought this was a giant waste of time, with their CEO saying, now they're spending their future dealings with litigation and lawyers rather than crafting the next great experience. I think that's disappointing. Eventually, Activision did settle the lawsuit and paid out tens of millions to employees along with Vince and Jason. Sounds like a win, but in reality, this was a huge loss. Another great studio had been disgraced. It had been broken. This was this dynamic duo's own company, and they had just been muscled out. The employees, the team that stuck together for years, gone. And sadly, Call of Duty would never be the same. And Bobby, he had his greedy paws on this franchise at last. It always feels like it's Activision, doesn't it? It always feels like it's Bobby in my videos. Because he doesn't care about the talent. He doesn't care about the players. Bobby just wants full control. And nothing was going to stop Activision. And unfortunately from here, Call of Duty entered a different age. While Activision felt like they had won, things were about to get much worse for them.
Oops.
With this change-up, it was now time for Activision to carry on with Call of Duty. They had purged any resistance, and now it was time to make money. It was time to milk this for all it was worth. So
purge the resistance.
All those who joined,
Okay, sure.
they started working on the next big game, Call of Duty Ghost in 2013. Pretty fun. It was more of the same thing, just with a new sci-fi twist. It wasn't as exciting or bold as Modern Warfare. The story felt weak, the characters were bland, and the multiplayer just wasn't as tight. It kind of just felt like a rehash. Fans felt like Call of Duty was running out of ideas. So they moved into a new direction with the next one, Advanced Warfare in 2014. You had exosuits, jetpacks, running on walls, energy weapons, laser beams, visibility. The game was fun, and critics were big fans. But fans weren't so sure. It was a little off-putting. And then came Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty in space. Dude, Infinite Warfare was the worst-selling COD game in a decade. And what was going on? Well, Ghost sold 28 million, down from Modern Warfare 3. Then Advanced Warfare sold just 21 million. And then Infinite Warfare, 12 million. These games tanked. But on the other side, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, these games were selling great, with 3 hitting 43 million. What was going on? This felt like this whiplash. While at Infinity Ward, that vision, that tight design, that perfection from Vince and Jason, that was gone. These guys fought for creative control for a reason. They knew how to make great games. Games that fans wanted. Modern Warfare, it just built on itself.
Welcome, good morning, good morning. Hopefully you guys having a good day out there.
They were fun, but they were all over the place. There was no cohesion. Where Black Ops, they had that familiar...
I'm just editing my videos while we listen to some random videos.
Unlike the Infinity Ward side. This is what Modern Warfare did so well. Clear promise, there was identity, iteration. But now, these publishers' new games, they just felt like filler. And worse, fans did not like this direction. For context, this trailer was the most disliked game trailer, and at the time, the second most disliked video on YouTube. To make things worse, Activision wanted Infinite Warfare to be the new big series like Black Ops or Modern Warfare. Yeah, that didn't happen. After Vince and Jason left, Infinity Ward, or rather Activision, they didn't know what to do with their Call of Duty games. They essentially just said, let's make it more advanced. But the problem wasn't that it was different. Fans did not want sci-fi Call of Duty. They wanted something more grounded. Activision had completely misread the room, and they knew it, saying the game didn't resonate.
That was real, dude.
So sales were down. And so Activision, they bundled in a Modern Warfare remaster, which you had to buy to play. You couldn't buy the game separately. This was really bad. And then EA came flying in with the new shooter, and it was not Medal of Honor. This series nipped at COD's heels for years. Every game selling more and more. While Call of Duty was losing ground, Battlefield was gaining it. And we see that with their own departure, Battlefield 1. Fans loved it. It was the most liked trailer in YouTube history, and it outsold Infinite Warfare. Both were big departures, yet Battlefield in its move to this new setting leaned harder into what fans wanted. It was slower, grittier, more immersion. It felt like a bold choice that fans respected. You could see the vision. But COD? It felt like Activision was thinking, okay, so what now? Space? Sure, let's do it. It felt like a spectacle over substance. There was no vision, and fans weren't on board. Even if the game was polished and fun, it didn't matter. It's about tone and feel. It's emotion. And the game just broke the identity. Activision saw that Call of Duty needed to change. They needed to follow where players were going. So they made a COD World War II game again, and it sold better, but this wasn't that innovative, wasn't that unique. So Activision, behind the scenes, they were working on something big, the biggest Call of Duty game in history.
But they got shut down.
Back to Bobby, who stated, "Our strategy has been to focus on the products that we know if we release today, we'll be working on 10 years from now." And as Bobby put it, it was now time to take this strategy to the next level. Battlefield might be the biggest competition, but Activision saw something else on the rise. Fortnite, the game that could not be stopped. 20 million players in 2017, then 125 million in 2018, then 250 million in 2019. Not to mention billions of dollars. This wasn't like COD or Battlefield. It was a battle royale, and it was free. So Activision jumped on the bandwagon. And in 2020, they released Warzone. And this game, this was fun. It was back to classic Modern Warfare, but bigger. Yet it raised the tensions even higher. If you die in a regular match, who cares? But in Warzone, it felt impactful. It felt intense. And it was a new, fresh way to play Call of Duty. This was the refresh Call of Duty needed to bring players back. As much as Battle Royales are overdone, and as much as I don't personally like them, I genuinely think Warzone worked. It was one of the best Battle Royales.
I quit Call of Duty before Black Ops ever came out.
I mean, you had to have the entire game
didn't like Modern Warfare.
It was 140 gigabytes. And there was a bigger issue on the horizon.
It was cool, but I did not like it. I just...
Term. You need to understand something about COD.
I didn't like it.
The strength of Call of Duty is in its multiplayer. It's possibly the most flexible series ever.
I did not like it.
World War II to Modern Warfare to Cold War. And every time they moved, the industry...
War was, like, for me, the best
they
ever.
have paved the way for FPS multiplayers. They've created prestige from the grinding, the XP, the kill streaks, that multiplayer.
I guess not a lot of people know that.
All this comes from COD. The stories have been bold, and they've pushed
started
the boundary for a realistic show.
This one,
even if it's made people
this game, I started playing this game before I started playing this game.
Which has been a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah, haters. What's up, haters?
For years.
Yo, haters.
Something changed. In 2014, a game called Titanfall came out. It was this sci-fi.
Haters. There's people that live. As soon as I start talking, everybody leaves. I don't know why people are so
then at the end of the year,
evil and mean.
It's Warfare.
Haters, man.
Sci-fi, free running, where you use jump packs and wall running. Then Battlefield launched the game in World War I. It was the first time they'd returned in a decade. Then Call of Duty.
I'm having fun. I'm doing good. I'm perfectly fun at home.
Siege pop off, and then Black Ops 4 pivots to be like a 5v5 hero shooter.
$30 for this game.
Apex Legends, and then Call of Duty launches a free-to-play battle royale. I'm not saying Call of Duty is just a copycat, because it's fine to go where players go. And there has been some new ideas like DMZ, which is pretty fun while it lasted, at least.
2005, that's when it came out.
Including Call of Duty. And clearly something has been different. After the golden age, it has felt like there's no vision anymore. There's no focus. Call of Duty has essentially become Activision's adaptable IP, from being a trendsetter to a follower. The game is more like their vehicle for the next new trend. Now, there is some nuance here. The weird sci-fi saga, that was a new direction. They were trying something new. The problem wasn't that they took a bold step, it was that the fans weren't interested. It went against the boots on the ground, that gritty nature of COD. After the failure with Advanced Warfare, it seems like Activision went, screw it, we're just going to do what everyone else is doing. They just fully switched from industry leader to follower. But to be clear, it was working. In just 1 year, Warzone had passed 100 million players and almost $2 billion. But this
who's ever out there on the YouTube live, appreciate it.